Good afternoon everyone. Today we're going to be looking at a double unboxing, well, a sort of a comparison really of two Tissot PRX 40s. So we've got, we're going to be looking at the mint green dial against the navy dial, just to sort of compare the two different types of colour really across the two models. So yeah, let's get on to the actual main unboxing of the navy one. Very sort of simple box design, nice sort of red and black theme going on. So here we go guys, this is the Tissot PRX 40 mint green dial versus the same model but in navy finish. So they're identical in terms of the spec, apart from the face and the detail that goes into that making up the dial. So the specs for these watches, they measure 40mm in case diameter. They have a thickness of, they're only a thin watch, they have a thickness of 10.4mm in width. And when you order from Tissot themselves, you get a 2-year warranty by default. They also operate on a Swiss Quartz ETA F06115 movement, with an end-of-life battery indicator in the back of the actual case itself. So let's move down to the actual dials. Both the watches, same across all the sort of models of Tissot PRX really. They're housed in a 316 stainless steel case with scratch-resistant sapphire glass across the top of the actual watch. Now you will notice that the dials here are different. So the actual, let's have a look at the navy one first. So the navy one's a bit more of a sort of a sun ray finish, as you can see from the light reflecting around it there. Whereas the Tissot PRX, the mint green version, has a line finish. This gives it sort of two different colours depending on how you tilt it and how the light catches it, depending on just how you're wearing it throughout the day. You might notice now, obviously the colour is different to it is now, so you can see that colour change. The Tissot PRX navy one does change, but it doesn't have as much of a change, but it does seem to reflect the light in a bit more of a sort of circular way, as you can see from the light reflecting around it just there. One thing that really sort of drew my attention to these this mint one is my very own one. What drew my attention to these particular watches is how thin and sleek they feel and how sort of classic they are with those sort of colours. They're probably one of the nicest sort of watches that offer a really sleek strap with a nice thin thickness to it, which means it's quite light on the wrist, but not light in terms of quality. It feels nice and lightweight on the wrist despite its size, and you get a decent amount of weight with the watch. Both the watches weigh about 130 grams, so you get a decent amount of weight to the watch. You don't want it too heavy really. So both watches come by default with 10 atmospheric waterproofness and super luminova on the hands and increments. So these are fully luminous hands, fully luminous increments, and also you've got that date dial at the 3 PM as well. Full baton markers as you might expect. So when we come around the side of the cases, you notice that they do seem very sort of thin, and because they've got on, I'll show you on this one, because they've got a so this edge here, the edge of where the case turns around to where the face of the dial is, you see that there's a bit of metal on the side that's slightly angled. This means that the light catches onto it and gives off a bit of definition on the actual casing, which is quite a nice touch really. It's quite a nice thing for a Tissot PRX to have that. So we won't analyse the crown on the other one, but the crowns will be the same. So we have a look at the crown on this, see what the quality's like. So it's a simple pop-out crown, first position. A nice strong movement and a good amount of feedback. You feel strength when you turn that round. Second position. And you get a good amount of feedback. You always get a good amount of feedback with Tissot PRX in terms of the feedback you get when you're turning it around the actual, turning the hands around the actual face. They're nice and strong. And the push down's nice and firm as well. There's no play in the hands when you push it down either. Have one last look at the actual watches. Actually, yeah, let's have a look inside the actual face. So you'll notice that inside the face, it's just a plain metal ring, no matter which colour you go for, as you can see there. Like some brands like Rolex, they'd have a marking of the brand inside there. One thing that really sort of catches your eye with these is the delay in the curve back to the actual strap. You can see that it just goes off in its own tangent down towards the strap. Speaking of the strap, the actual lug width of the strap, if you ever wanted to change the strap, you'll need one that slots into this gap here. It doesn't fit to the size of the case. The width that you'll need to change those straps is 12mm. Now, the one thing to talk about with these straps is they offer a really good shine and a really good fold. So on this one, it's a really nice thin, in terms of the links themselves, they're thin width. So they offer plenty of sort of, they mould to the wrist better. It's the same as the sort of debate of Oyster Perpetual strap versus a Jubilee strap. I find that a Jubilee strap like this moulds the wrist a bit better because of those small links, as you might expect. But this one, it does that even more, so it moulds the wrist really quite nicely. The same sort of strap on both of them. They're consistent all the way around on the models. So coming around to where the butterfly clasp is, you've got that Tissot print on the back there, the foundation date, and you'll notice it's a double push button deployment system, revealing a stainless steel interior sort of body, really. A good quality body inside there with good push buttons as well. The click down on the strap is usually quite good. Yeah, that's good as well. I've had this watch a while now, and it's still showing, it's still demonstrating strength. To actually adjust the strap, as you might notice, these two watches are different lengths. You'll need like a pin and a hammer just to knock those through. They're not screws or anything like that, so you need one of those to put those in there. But if you wanted to change the strap completely, the good thing is they are quick release. As you can see, those tiny little two lugs in there, the ones that I'm pointing to now, you can just quickly flick those and they come out. Looking at the back plate, finally, you've got a full sunray finish on both of those, as you can see there. All the markings, as you might expect, and the usual refinements. Let's have a look with them both on. Around. They're really good, they're excellent sleek watches. If you just want a simple watch with a nice colour that offers a good bit of quality and an excellent contemporary design, I highly recommend them, guys. They're really good watches. If I was to pick this or the Rotary Region or the Accurist Origin, I'd be struggling for choice. But there we go, guys. That is the two Tissot PRXs in the 40mm variant.